Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages, we are now live here on the Investor Show. As always, this is your gracious host, the Prince of Investing, Prince Dykes, coming to you guys and girls live all the way from the beautiful city and state of Denver, Colorado. Don't forget to hit that subscribe, comment, share button. And as always, I don't have a lot of time. I definitely know you guys and girls don't have a lot of time, so we're going to jump straight into it. We are now live. I think it's like 11 o'clock on the East Coast, meaning that it's 9 o'clock here in Mountain Time, meaning that it is 8 o'clock, I think, on the West Coast. So anyway, I got my phone lines open today. You can call in at 657-390-7056. Again, that is 657-390-7056. If you want to be a part of the conversation, give you a talks, all the good stuff. So y'all be patient with me. I'm trying something new tonight with the live lines as well as live comments. So if you are catching this live, drop me a comment. Let me know where you're from. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, today's topic, before we get into that, we're going to go over the SEC shows AMC investors that this is in crypto. We're going to look in to see if AMC is it really overvalued. What was the trend of AMC before the pandemic? Should we have a meme stock ETF, since this name has been going around? And also, ladies and gentlemen, will AMC rebound? That's what a lot of people are catching out on. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's first set the tone of the sentiment of the market. Right now, the tone that we have in the market right now, ladies and gentlemen, is cryptocurrencies has gotten very quiet. And as cryptocurrencies has gotten very quiet, you're seeing people like this, not in the crypto world, but you're seeing the cryptocurrency got quiet. You're seeing SHIB get quiet. You're seeing Dogecoin get quiet. You're seeing Bitcoin. All those cryptocurrencies are kind of lowering and kind of consolidating, meaning they're moving to the side, right? Now, the question is, everybody's going to ask, now that crypto is not hot, who's hot? So when it's very quiet, it's very easy to make noise. So out of the blue, here comes AMC come roaring back, the meme stock ETF. So first, let me go into it with what is AMC. Let me see what y'all saying. First, we're going to get into what is AMC. We're going to break it down for somebody who's tuning in and said, man, I don't even know what AMC is. So we're going to go through that. And we can't assume everybody knows everything. So that's how I'm going to go through it. Let me see what y'all say in the comments. Trucker, what's going on? He says, Prince, what's going on, Trucker? Thanks for checking in live. Give shouts out to Trucker. Where's I should have had my music already. Shouts out to Trucker. And Twan, what's going on? Good afternoon, investing family. What's going on, Twan? And young Trill, Mr. Prince. What's going on, young Trill? Also, young Trill, I haven't forgot. I know you said you DM me on Instagram. I haven't got a chance to get on my Instagram and get into my DMs. I've just gotten back from I was in St. Louis, Kansas City, and Topeka, Kansas. That was my first time in St. Louis. I was the first time in Kansas City. That was my first time in Topeka, Kansas. So I was gone for a little while. I was in a couple cities out with the family. So I've been running around a little bit. All right. So, but I'm here back live in the saddle. Deirdre Gilchrist, what's going on? Deirdre holding it down. Thank you for the support. He says, hey, Prince, what's going on? What's going on, man? Jones Lights has been doing my best to put everyone on your channel. Jones Light, I appreciate that. Look, where you from, Jones Light? Appreciate that. Julia, how you doing, Miss? She said, hey, you haven't seen her in a while. How you doing, Miss Julia? Thanks for tuning in. And you know, always, you got my guy Max B says, blessings, King. Blessings to you. It's cool. Oh, also, Michael. Ladies and gentlemen, we got Michael in the building. He's from Toronto, Canada. Canada in the building. Shouts out to the Canadians and the international people that tune into the show. He says, Lemonade. What's going on, Mike? LS3 said, you're cool. I did my studying and found the answer to my question. Appreciate it. Okay, young Trill, I'm glad you got that. I'm glad. See, that's why I like, some people don't have to sit around and wait. You got it. You said, Mr. Lemonade in the house. Oh, yeah, Lemonade stock. So the running joke is, Mike, he's a big component of Lemonade, the insurance company. I've been following. I haven't made an investment on Lemonade, but I've just been kind of following the company. Spoke to the company once or twice, I think, or whatever, but I've just been kind of following. I think it's interesting in the insurance business. So he said, okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's jump into it. If you want to call in live, you know, you got the number here is 657-390-7056. So the first thing, who is AMC? AMC is a movie theater entertainment holding company. And what this company does is it holds a bunch of movie theaters. Pretty simple concept. So they are the largest in the world. Let me get my Q notes. I think I dropped them down for a second. So right here, they own 950 theaters showing 10,500 screens. They own 950 theaters across the country, across the globe, and they're the largest movie theaters, right? Now, the thing is, AMC stock, everybody know it has been, I won't say a victim. It has benefited from the whole meme stock era. The meme stock era is an era of when people are now saying, so well, let me get past that. So we know who AMC is. AMC is a movie theater company, 950 theaters, 10,000 theaters across the country. All right. So we got that out of the way. So now we're going to move on to how the SEC shows AMC investors this isn't crypto. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into the part of, we saw AMC stock. Everybody know what AMC is now. This was a company, movie theaters when the pandemic hit. A lot of people wasn't going out. A lot of people staying at home, hurting the profits of AMC investors. Now, as this stock started to get drugged down out of the blue on Reddit, I heard was a social media site that kind of made it popular. Everybody jumped in, creating these big short squeezes to go against investors, all the other good, great stuff. So pretty much it's like a classic pump and dump where these group of people on Reddit says, hey, all guys and girls, we're all going to jump into GameStop. We're all going to jump into AMC at the same time. We're all going to jump into here. And what it does is it pushes a lot of volume into a company. So for prime example, ladies and gentlemen, it's a simple concept of bid and ask. So the offer price, someone is saying, hey, I'm selling this pack of chewing gum for $2. Supply and demand. So you have supply and demand. Demand shoots up out of the blue. The supply stayed the same. There's no new stocks being created. The supply stayed the same. And you're seeing the demand shoot straight up. What is that going to do to the price? When supply stays the same and demand shoot up, that's going to raise the price. That's exactly what's happening with these companies. Now, you got to think about on the other side, you had people on Wall Street that was betting against AMC. So you had these people on AMC that were betting against it, was putting out shorts or putting in put options, however they was betting against it. There's so many ways to bet against it. And guess what happened? You had these people on the side on the internet that just shot up these stocks all the way up to the roof, breaking a lot of Wall Street people, which you're not going to break a lot of Wall Street people. All they did was get money lended from other people. Other firms gave them money, all of the good stuff like that. Then they call the SEC and say, SEC, these guys are being mean. They're not playing fair. So guess what? Here comes the SEC. The SEC starts to show everybody. Hold on. The SEC, I'm just putting a little music on in the background so it doesn't sound too dry. So the SEC decided to show everybody, hey, this is not crypto. The SEC stepped in and just halted trading. They halted trading on AMC on Wednesday, and they had done this a couple times. But ladies and gentlemen, this goes into the lesson of a regulated security versus an unregulated security. A regulated security is a security that is registered somewhere. Like one day, my ultimate goal is to have my private wealth management firm to go public, to be a publicly traded company. In order to make that happen, I would have to register. I have to meet all type of guidelines. My life has to be, well, my company's life has to be an open book. I got to find 10Ks. I got to find 10Qs. I got to file 10Ks. I got to file 10Qs. I got to find 8Ks, all these type of things that I have to do in order to take money from the public. So I'm registered with someone. And then also there's a governing body, the SEC. So if I start to do something that's fraudulent or whatever the case may be, the SEC can step in and do certain things to my company or whatever, right? So you got to look at it. Stocks are in a regulated market. Not only stocks, you got some forms of real estate. They're in a regulated market. And what they mean by security being registered, it meaning that, hey, this stock, we know the name of the company, we got their finances, we got everything about them, right? versus when you have not stocks, when you have an unregulated entity like cryptocurrencies. Cryptocurrencies are unregulated. I own Sheep. I own Dogecoin. I own Dogecoin, Sheep, Stella, and Bitcoin. Do I know a whole lot about the fundamentals of those companies? No, I do not. All those currencies, no. I don't know how many are created. I don't know how many are being sold, how many are being brought, how many are being made. Where are the servers? How much energy they're using? Are they making money, losing money? I don't know any. All I have to catch press release articles that anybody can write a press release article. Anybody can get on the radio and say something crazy. There's no governing body. It's unregulated. So in an unregulated market, it's kind of like the Wild Wild West. This is how the stock market looked before 1934. Before 1934, you can get in there. You had all type of people pumping and dumping and doing all type of fake stuff and whatever. And people was able to get away with that because it was an unregulated market. But by the SEC jumping out, and saying, no, you're not going to do this with us. The SEC came out and halted trading. You don't hear about trading for Bitcoin is being halted. You never hear about that because it's in an unregulated market, whereas in AMC is. All right. Now, here's the biggest question everybody wants to know. The next question. Is AMC overvalued? Is AMC overvalued right now, ladies and gentlemen? Right now, today, I think it's settled out at $51. So for prime example, I look at AMC and I see this company going all over the place. It's up and down. Should I buy it? Should I sell it? What should I do with it? Okay, let's see what value there is with the company. Let's take a look at the finances. And that's exactly what we're going to do right now. We're going to take a look at the last 10Q report. I think that came out last month. And let's see what they're looking like. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this music in the background. Okay, nope, that's not it. Here we go. There we go. So right here, this is AMC Entertainment Holding Company that I have pulled up on the screen. But before I jump into that, let me see what y'all ladies and gentlemen are saying in the comment box. Antonio says AMC can kick rocks. So Antonio says AMC can kick rocks. I invested in AMC during the GameStop run up several months ago, got scared and sold at $12. So now I'm a little salty. Now he said that's a Philly slang. Not really. He said now he's a little salty, but I'm thankful for Gush and IMR. We can't have, I think he said we can't have it all. Or he got some more. He said we can't have it all. So essentially he's saying he jumped in on the craze when it very first started and he got in $12 and he got scared and he jumped out. Now it's at $51. He's like, you know what? Screw this. I'm not trying to get into this. So ladies and gentlemen, this is my thought process, right? This is my thought process, Antoine. You have to believe in the story of a company. That's my belief. My belief is if you believe in the story of something like AMC, I'm going to, at the end of this show, with all this rambling that I'm doing, I'm going to put together a story at the end to say, hey, do you believe in this story? That is how I look at Uber. Hopefully I painted that story over the last couple months and years with Uber. I said, hey, look at this story. Look at the story of this company. Look how this company is making money. Look how it's becoming ingrained in society. It's an unprofitable company. Do you believe or do you think they can get to this point? That point being profitability. I have a goal of where I think this company can go by the end of the year of next year. Can they be the people to do it? Right? Now, that's what I'm going to put together today in AMC of the story, feel, and vibe. Now, I'm going to give a disclaimer. I am not an owner of AMC stock, nor am I a movie buff. I'm not a person who goes to the movie a lot. So I'm going to be honest and say I don't have my hands on the pulse of movies. I think movies are obsolete. I never really went to movies back when they were very popular, unless it had to be, I'm a documentary type person. I like documentaries. So let's say it had to be a documentary or autobiography or something like that, I would go see. But other than that, I really didn't go to a movie theater. It's too funny. I mean, now you got movies of being at home. My problem with AMC is they have 950,000 theaters that are in great real estate spot. I'm pretty sure they're making money off of their real estate if they own them. I got to look at that. But we're going to see, do I believe in this story? Do I believe in the story that the CEO is doing? And I'm going to talk about that later on in the show. Okay, Jones says she's from Connecticut. Yeah, I used to live in Groton, Connecticut back in the day. What's that, New London? I think I lived in New London, Connecticut some years and years ago, like 20 years ago. That was my first ever duty station, Groton, Connecticut. So shouts out to Groton, Connecticut. That's what y'all saying here. Julia said, I brought Tuesday at $37, sold today at $44. I got nervous. Not bad, not bad. Trucker, he said, LOL, I don't feel bad. I did he's talking to Antonio. Let me see what my lemonade brother is saying. Michael says, Prince, what are the chances of a complete collapse of the financial system if all the meme stocks pop at the same time? I don't believe in that because we're in a regulated market, meaning that the SEC can do what they've done many times to GameStop and AMC. They can just pull, the SEC can just delist you, meaning take you right off the stock market. They can stop trading. They can do all types of things. So being in a regulated market, if they saw things getting out of control, this has happened before. They saw things getting out of control. They can bring in liquidity. Like you heard of the story of JP Morgan bailing out the stock market in the late early 1900s. When they have liquidity problems or whatever the case may be, they have so much control that they can say, oh, this stock is getting too hot. They can just shut the stock down for the day. The stock market started dropping too much, they can shut down the stock market, which you saw last March of them halting trading. I think when it dropped 7% in a day and started hitting those triggers. So they have these things you're talking about, Mike. You look back in history, these things have happened before. Some of these things of the market falling through. The only way I believe our financial system can fall through is if we lose our military power. If the United States is no longer the strongest military in the world, I think that's when the financial industry will start to see problems and start to crash. As long as we have the strongest military in the world, I don't think we're going to have a problem with our financial system. That's how we get away with a lot of things. Yes, we got a fake currency. Yes, we own a fiat currency. Yes, the Federal Reserve can just print up money and give it to their friends if they want to. Yes, they can manipulate all type of things, lower interest rates or whatever, and boost up housing, boost up stock market. Yes. But right now, we live in a world where we have the strongest military, and everybody know if you take a human mentality, whoever has the biggest gun makes the rules. Subby says, hello from California. We got California in the building. What's going on, California? Right? And playing, okay. Somebody says that's wow. Okay. James says brother has nothing to do with all that. Go to the. Okay, all right. I don't know what James talking about here. Late. Okay. Max B says AMC will slowly die off unless they innovate, maybe live shows or something. I can agree with that. That's true. Marcus said nobody is getting AMC for the fundamentals. That is very true. But for me to hold something at the middle of the night, now if you're a technical investor, you're someone who go to technical analysis and you want to say, hey, I want to jump in at $51. The roof now is $62. The support and the resistance of the price channel, and you want to jump in and jump back out, fine, and make you some money, great. But the downside is what makes me sleep at night is if I know the fundamentals. If I don't know the fundamentals or understand the fundamentals, that's what creates nervousness. When you saw Antonio and Julia say, hey, I jumped in at this price and got out at this price because they didn't know the fundamentals of what was going on, which is fine. But if you walked into if I walked in saying, hey, I'm here to straight up day trade and get out, that's fine. But I can't sleep at night, or I can't manage someone else's money or retirement and not understand the fundamentals. That's just me. Because if I get stuck with this company If I get stuck with this company, I at least want to understand the fundamentals of the company. That's me, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Max B said AMC will slowly die off. We're going to talk about that. We're going to get into that. We're going to talk about what were they doing before and after. So, Young Trill, I believe with things opening more, the people will be eager to go out and family and friends to enjoy movies in the theater. Okay. He said, and I missed it. Y'all comment kind of fast. And they're upgrading the company. Okay. James, if you don't understand, go. James, I don't even know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about as a person. You're commenting. If you got something you want to share, share it. You know, if you got a belief or an opinion or something that you want to share, share it. You know, I don't know what you're referring to, something on another site or something and telling me to go read it. That's not going to happen. So if you want to share an opinion, share it. Why do people keep saying AMC will go to 100K and 500K? I don't understand that. I think that's more clickbait than anything, in my opinion. I saw that too. I think that's more clickbait. 100,000, 500,000. I don't see where they're going with that. Okay, Julie says movies are big business. Teenagers need a place to go for dates. People in middle of America and beyond love going to the movies. If it goes below $25, I'm getting back in. Okay. That's a good point, Julie. We're going to talk about that too. Max B, will AMC will be nearly a lottery ticket like crypto? A lottery ticket? They're not going to be as bad as crypto because they do got some fundamentals that we're going to take a look at right now. I want puts in AMC, but they're so expensive right now. Yeah, that, and plus you got so much going on. Trucker says, what's going on, LK Raw? All right, so let's take a look right here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a look. We got this 10K. Now, the first thing I want to ask you guys and girls is, let's see, how is this company doing? Is that $51? AMC stock market cap right now is $25 billion. The market cap is the shares outstanding price times the stock price. The market cap is $25 billion. So let's see how much money does AMC have on its books. Let's make it make fundamental sense, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a look. Let me get back to where I was. Okay. Let's get down to these finances. Okay, the revenue. Revenue ended in March 31st, 2021. They made $148 million. That's up from that time last year. They made $941 million. So they made a little bit more money. That's good. Now let's take a look at, that's their total revenues. But they walked in with a loss. Last year, they lost $2 billion. This cycle, they lost $574 million. So their losses are being cut. Okay. So the net losses are $567 billion. That's their net loss. So this is an unprofitable losing company, right? Okay. Let's take another look inside of this unprofitable losing company. The net loss, what we already saw, the net loss we can see on the cash flow statement, and we can see it also on the income statement as well. So let's take a look here. Where we at? Let's take a look at the balance sheet. They have $10 billion in assets, $10 billion in assets. And then they have $12 billion in liabilities. You see that? Total assets, $10 billion. Total liabilities, $12 billion. The company has a net worth of a negative $12 billion. No, $2 billion. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Shareholders' equity is in a defect. Right? Let's take a look. Let's see if they got it down here. Right here, the total defect is $2.2 billion. So this company on the books is on its balance sheets, on its cash flow statement, is losing money. Now it's losing less money than it did before, but then on its balance sheet, it has a less than $2 billion. $2 billion is its net worth, right? Now notice its market cap was 25 million. Market cap 25 million. Net worth of the company is a negative 2 billion. I got the negative 2 billion from looking at the total assets minus the total liabilities. So we're in the negative. We're not making money, and plus we are negative. Now, I got to ask y'all this question before we go any further. When I look at a company that has $2 billion, when I look at a company that's $2 billion net worth negative, not making money, but it has a market cap of 25 billion, I'm sorry. I don't believe you. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to ask you this question. The next topic. Let me see, can I find it? What was the trend of the movie theater before the pandemic? AMC is running into all these issues due to the pandemic, right? So how was AMC stock performing before the pandemic? Was the movie theater on an upward trend or a downward trend before the pandemic? Because everybody is saying, Prince, once this pandemic is up, everybody's going to rush back into the movie theaters. But were they rushing into the movie theaters before the pandemic? What was the highest stock price of AMC before the pandemic? I think right now as high as $62. What was its price before that? Before the pandemic hit, ladies and gentlemen? Educate me. Ladies and gentlemen, we're only going to deal with facts. This is fundamental facts. So what was the peak of AMC before the pandemic? Everybody's saying the pandemic is causing these middle of America people like Denver. I just came from middle of America, Kansas City, and Topeka, Kansas, and good old America, middle of America, St. Louis. What was the trend of the movie theater industry before the pandemic? Everybody's saying, oh, Prince, AMC just had a hard time because of the pandemic. And once this little pandemic gets up, everybody's going to rush back into the theaters. I'm going to say, okay, all right, I can understand that. But everybody got to ask yourself, what was going on, Prince, before the pandemic? Well, we're on an upward trend. Was AMC on an upward trend or a downward trend? How was the movie industry going before the pandemic? Now, you think the pandemic is going to come out and then we just forget? This is investors' amnesia. Let's take a look at AMC stock before let's take a look at, I'm pulling up now. What was let's take a look at the 5-year stock price of AMC. Okay, now look at this. This is right off of Google. Anybody can pull this up. Go on to Google and type in AMC stock. Hit the 5-year chart. Now you're looking at AMC today. It's at $51. It went up to $72 was its high. 52-week high. Its all-time high of $72. Kind of got wiped off the books a little bit because they halted trading. Now, we know the nasty pandemic came along around about, the nasty pandemic hit around about March, right? Let's look at before the pandemic hit. Let's look at January of last year. January of last year, there was no pandemic. How much was AMC stock with no pandemic? $7. AMC was trading for $7 on January of last year. No pandemic is going on. Pandemic didn't start really hitting into America until about March. And for the people that say, well, Prince, that's in America, this is a global company, you're right. Let's go back to 2018. AMC was $14. 2018, when they're supposed to be thriving. Before the pandemic, in the last 5 years, the highest you saw AMC stock was $35. And ever since 2017, this stock has been on a slowly decline. It didn't start to catch wind until January of this year when the whole meme stock debacle started to happen. Manipulation. So when people say, Prince, people are going to get back out and they're going to start flying and they're going to go back to movie theaters. I agree. People are going to get back out. But what were you doing before, ladies and gentlemen? The highest this stock had hit in the last 5 years, before we even knew what COVID-19 was, it was $35. Now, all of a sudden, it's $72. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, it just don't make sense to me. So what were you doing before? So now that we looked at that and we backed that up with factual numbers, so people that want to argue with me and say, Prince, I don't agree with you, you idiot, man. Let's look at the fundamentals. What was this company doing before? All right. Now let's look at the good side of AMC. Let's take a look here. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a meme stock ETF. I was wondering, I would invest into a meme stock ETF. Last week, or a week or two ago, everybody was in the SHIB. Everybody, ooh, SHIB and Dogecoin to the moon, safe moon, and this coin, that coin. Now this week, everybody has forgotten about all of that. Everybody's forgotten about the meme stocks. Now everybody is back on AMC, GME, GameStop, meme stock. What are they at now? Right? So I wonder if they had an ETF. I wish I knew or had the resources to create an ETF. And with this ETF, all it does is whatever is hot on the internet, it adds it into an ETF, something like GameStop. Because you got to think about it. People in here talking about, oh, is GameStop overvalued? I mean, the company is only worth a negative $2 billion on the books. A negative $2 billion on the books. Cash flow losing hundreds of millions of dollars. In an industry that was dying before the pandemic came along. Now, before the pandemic, the highest price it had was $35. Now, after the pandemic, now it's at $72. Make that make sense for me, ladies and gentlemen? Ladies and gentlemen, if you come in, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, hit the like, subscribe, and comment, and share button. Now I'm going to get to this. People ask me, Prince, do you think AMC will rebound? Can AMC rebound, ladies and gentlemen? I'm going to give you my personal opinion. Now, here's the biggest thing that I see AMC ability to do. AMC has a big name. It has the biggest name in its industry. That's very huge. Right? 1 second. Y'all give me 1 second. Make sure I'm not. Okay. So let's go back and let's see. We were talking about AMC's rebound. Okay, let's go back here. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the website of AMC's Investor Relation. Now, this is the best things that AMC has done. AMC raised $230 million. They put on a press release right here. They raised $230 million by selling their shares for $21.12, approximately $21.12. So they raised $230 million from Murdoch Capital. Hopefully I'm not, breaking that down. So they sold 850 million shares for $27.12. They were able to raise $230 million. That's nice. Now, that's very nice because you need money. That's increased their liquidity. Now they got $230 million. They announced that on June 1st. Now here's another one. They raised another $500 They reported this yesterday. They raised today. They reported they raised 587 million. So over the last couple of days, they raised, what was that? About $1 billion, close to 5, 6, 7, about $800 million. That's increasing their liquidity by selling stocks. I didn't see none of this being borrowed. They're selling their own stocks by becoming a meme stock, and people on Reddit and people on all these things that are running these stocks up. AMC has made a lot of money, millions of dollars. They raise a lot of money. That's very important that a company knows how to raise money. Because if I'm your competition and I know how to raise money and you don't know how to raise money, guess what's going to happen? You're going to go out of business. I'm going to stay in business. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the biggest thing that I see AMC. This is the coolest thing I've seen them do. For all the people that's tuning in, all the meme stock buyers, guess what? Guess what, ladies and gentlemen? AMC announces they will be giving out free popcorn. You can get a large popcorn. They announced this yesterday. They're going to be giving out large popcorn. You're going to have direct connection to the CEO. He's going to give y'all special streaming access, and he's going to give y'all free and discounted things. The AMC CEO announced yesterday, AMC Entertainment Holdings Incorporated unveiled a new communication initiative to engage directly with the sizable retail shareholders based through the launch of AMC Investor Connect. So AMC Investor Connect, here are the benefits. Shareholders going to get exclusive promotions, including free or discounted items, an invitation to special screenings. You're going to have communications directly from the CEO and president at AMC Theaters, Adam Aaron. Shout out to Adam. I like this, Adam. I like this. Other interesting information about AMC's and his movie things, right? So he's going to start this off. He's saying that 80% of the people that own 80% of the ownership of AMC is with the shareholders, the retail investors, the people like you and I, the people that are on Reddit, the people that's creating meme stocks. That's what we're looking at. They own 80% of the company, right? So he's giving out a free large popcorn. He's giving out a free large popcorn this summer. I mean, that's nice. I'm not really big on the free popcorn, but hey, that's a nice incentive. It announced today it is launching AMC Investor Connect, an innovative and proactive communication initiative that will put AMC in direct communication with this extraordinary base of enthusiastic and passionate individual shareholders to keep them up to date on about important information about the company and to provide them with special offers. Over the last several decades, AMC has been in the retail shareholders base growth beyond 3 million owners. So they got 3 million owners, retail people. I don't know where they're coming from, meme stocks or whatever. They're launching AMC Investor Connect so you can have direct access to the investor, to the CEO of the company, Mr. Adam Aaron. Shout out to Adam. And he's going to give you free popcorn this summer. And this is his way to say thank you because you guys kept the company open. So when people that comment, James comment, he was saying, hey, Prince, you should go over and read a Reddit or whatever the case may be. You don't need to read anything else when you get in it directly from the horse's mouth. That's my belief. Maybe I'm wrong, ladies and gentlemen, but that's my belief. So you're going to get free popcorn if you can log in and become part of the Investors Connect. This is his way to say thank you for all of you guys. The 3 million retail investors, the last time they counted, that brought all these stocks, ran the company up, gave them the ability to increase their liquidity, gave them the ability to be able to raise almost $1 billion. Now they have all this money. My belief is The question is, do you believe in a future of AMC? That's my question, ladies and gentlemen. Do you believe in the future of AMC? What is the trend of the movie industry now, going forward? After the pandemic, what is the trend of the movie industry? That's my question. Fundamentally, AMC, a negative $2 billion on its books, $10 billion in assets. If you took those assets, multiplied them at a 2-point basis, yeah, you get about 2.5 billion. That's kind of what the market cap is at. But I look at that liability. This company is a negative 2 billion. But it has a crap ton of real estate. Real estate is doing hot. I got to look at that again. Does AMC really own the theaters in the space, or does it lease it? But let me see what y'all say in the comments. If you want to call in and say what's up before I get out of here, y'all already know the number. 657-390-7056. Again, the number's on the screen. 657-390-7056. Let me see what y'all saying in here in these comments. Let me see. I watch. Jones Light says, should have sold my, I think he meant Roku stock when it peaked and scooped up some AMC. Yeah, that's always easy to say once it's said and done. Now, in a week from now, you might be saying it totally different. Trucker says, I watch movies on the internet. Me too. I'd rather be at home. Very rarely I go to the movies as a pastime. Very rarely. It has to be something big. 12 Omanik. Some of y'all have some wild usernames in here. He says AMC was low, like Cinemark, about the 20s or 30s. Yep. Before the pandemic, it was in the 20s or 30s. That was his peak. 20s, mid 30s. That was his peak before the pandemic. Now it's at $51. It was at $72. Hold on, we got somebody calling in. Oh, it's my cousin. What's going on, Jameson?
Hey, cuz, how you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Man, I'm doing good, man. I'm sitting here watching your show and getting schooled on how to look at these stocks, after the pandemic, because what you were saying about AMC makes a lot of sense. I'm a novice when it comes to investing, so I appreciate you and your platform and the Investor Show breaking these things down. But I would have never thought to go back, in time and look at how these stocks were performing before the pandemic to get a sense of how things are going to be, or how I should see. There's a lot of hype around these media distribution companies like AMC. And the one thing the pandemic seems like it showed us was that, HBO and, all these major companies like NBC with their new platform called Peacock, basically content delivery is shifting away from everybody go out to this big theater and watch it. So we've been seeing that with these TVs coming out, like, the high definition TVs, now the 4K TVs, and now 8K TVs. And so I'm really interested in what you were saying about AMC. So I'm gonna pay attention to the stock, because I'm like, hey, how is this going to perform and how is this going to behave? So.
Yeah, a lot of people are in they're my comments, and they're talking about, hey, I brought it at this point and I sold it. And, early in the show, we pulled up the finances of the company, right? This is not what I heard or what somebody said. Hey, we pulled up the finances of the company. We looked at this company's cash flow. We looked at their cash flow, their assets, their liabilities that are held inside of the company. And the reason why people are selling it so fast, because they're scared, because they don't know the fundamentals, right? There are plenty of companies and stocks that I had that are down right now, but I'm not worried about them, because I know I can sleep at night because I know what they are. With AMC, people don't know, and everybody's saying, "Hey, Prince, man, and even the CEO said it. He said it word for word. With the vaccinations and more people getting back to traveling, the movie theater is going to open back up." I agree with him to that degree, but you got to say, well, what they were doing before the pandemic. What trend were you on? What trend line were you on before the pandemic? Now, people are raising a bunch of money now. When you buy stocks, they just raised $8 billion. Now, I don't know if you heard the part where I said that the new initiative is everybody that buys AMC stock, the CEO just came out and said he's going to give them all popcorn this summer. He's going to do all this stuff because he's thanking them for saving the company. By everybody jumping in and buying it. Okay, we got somebody else. I'm gonna put you on hold. All right, I'll be with you in 1 second. Now, what's going to happen is everybody's jumping in and buying it. This is what's going to have people. This is what saved the company. Retail investors, these people that got on Reddit and ran this company up. This is what saved this particular company, right? So I look at it now and I say, hey, if you're someone who's trying to do some technical, wild, I want to get in and get out, I can understand that. But the question is, do you believe in the story? This is a company that is unprofitable, that has a negative $2 billion in the bank, and assets. They have $10 billion in assets, but they have $12 billion in liabilities. Low working capital, negative cash flow. Do you believe in their ability to reinnovate themselves in this movie space that we're shifting away from?
I'm going to say this real quick, cousin. I'll let you go because I know you got another call on the line. I'm going to say I'm going to bet against them. You know what I mean? Because the next, you got to look at where the money's being put at. People are investing in Netflix. People are doubling down like Amazon. Like Amazon just bought MGM for $8 billion. The digital pipe into your house is becoming the new movie theater. It's becoming the new content delivery system. And I think that once these companies figure out, and I'm talking about these old studios and TV channels, once they figure out how to get their content onto platforms where people can subscribe to them, like I was mentioning earlier, NBC Peacock, then I think you'll see like these companies like AMC, a lot of these old traditional models are going to go away because at the end of the day, people have shown because of the pandemic that they will watch big movies and big events at home. And, these people are smart. They're going to figure out how to monetize that TV in your house a lot more. So, I wouldn't bet long-term on AMC. We're going to see a lot of that shift. And, that's just my 2 cents, guys. So.
All right. Culture and Conversations in the building. Y'all go subscribe to his podcast. That's Mr. Jameson Smallwood. Definitely thank you for calling, cuz. Definitely appreciate it. All right.
Hey, appreciate the show, man. I'll keep on watching. Be good, friends.
All right, you too. All right. Next caller. Let me unmute you. You're the Investor Show. What's your name?
Hey,
Hello.
Dykes.
What's up? You gotta mute me on the background. I can't hear myself. Get some feedback. What's up? What's going on?
What's up, man? It's Batista.
Batista, what's going on? Let's give a round of applause for Batista in the building. What's going on? Where are you located right now?
I'm in Japan right now, bro. I'm watching you, man.
In Japan. We are there getting love in Japan. Round of applause for that. There we go. So what's going on, man? What's on your mind? What you think about this? What you guys say about this AMC?
Man, like I said, everything you said about the AMC, how it's in debt and all that stuff is true, right? But you think about it this way, what is going on with the synthetic shares, the naked shorts, the manipulation by the hedge funds, What do you think about that as far as what's driving the price? AMC was only $31 max back post-COVID or whatever it was, you know what I mean? So I think the reason why, you're right, the retail investors did save AMC. Why? Because I think it's been, everyone's doing everything everyone's doing, what do you call that? Taking Netflix and all that stuff.
Netflix and Hulu.
And takeaway. Yeah. But I still think AMC still holds value in the sense that, one, people still like going on dates. Two, people are tired of being home. You know what I mean? I really don't think people want to sit around anytime anymore being home than they have been for the last year and a half.
Okay. Now, how did you feel the movie theater trend was before COVID?
Well, I think it was dying at the sense because not a lot of people really thought about it anymore. But after they saw the value of it now, after being stuck at home and realizing they don't like being home, I think it just motivated more people like, I want to get out and just start living life a little more,
Mm-hmm. Now, let me ask you this question. Like with a company like this, like you got right now, AMC is $51. It's not about the company. It's $51. No. I have $51. I can buy AMC, which is a company that has $10 billion in assets, $12 billion in liabilities, put them at a negative $2 billion. You got $51, right? You can go with them versus every other investment that's out there. Why would you choose AMC?
Oh, no. I'm gonna tell you that. To me, this isn't an investment to me right now. To me, I'm investing in AMC only for the play. This is just a play for me.
Okay, so it's like like some little fun. Like, hey, you know what? Let's see if they could turn into something.
No. Mm-hmm. I mean, they messed up by shorting this stock.
Okay, that's true. Mm-hmm.
The hedge funds, all that stuff I think they messed up by shorting it, and I think the numbers don't match what's being reported. Hence the reason why there's so many people. I don't even think there's 3.2 million. I think there's even more than 3.2 million retail investors now into AMC.
I seen the last report I seen from AMC, they said 3 million.
3 million just in the U.S. alone, U.S. and Canada. That doesn't even account the international investors.
Okay. So this is a play for you to say, so you're not investing in AMC. This is more a technical thing to go against the short guys.
Exactly. I'm against those hedge funds, man. Those hedge funds. That's where I'm going at right now.
Okay. So it's personal.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's personal. I got it. Okay.
It's all about money nowadays, man.
Okay. So okay. Now that makes sense. So some people say, hey, if it's a fundamental, like I always tell people, what is your psyche behind this? If you're someone like, hey, I want to go against hedge funds, I want to short squeeze them, I could understand that. If it's fundamental, where it's like, hey, I need to put in money or something like that, then that's different, right? Or if it's fundamental of like, hey, I'm looking to buy some value, or if you're a technical person, but for you, it's more of a psychological thing of I'm going against the hedge funds, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Well, at the end of the day, I'm still gonna invest into AMC because I do believe that it's one of those things where it's still one of those places where I do want to take my, like, when I have kids, if they want to go out with their friends and stuff, they go to the movie theaters on a Friday night. Movie theaters, you know what I mean? Where do we hang out? At the mall and the movie theaters. So of course I'm going to invest in something that's been an all-time thing, that's an American thing that has always been done. So I'm going to still invest to it after post this play I do on it.
Now I got to ask you this question. Are you the person that's buying newspapers as the internet coming along?
No.
So what I mean by that is newspaper was our number one media outlet 40 years ago, right? And radio. Now you're looking at today where newspapers are practically non-existent. Do you feel like by investing into movie theaters that you are getting out of that, you kind of catch my analogy, my metaphor there, right?
Yeah, I get what you're trying to say. But like again, you think about it this way. You're talking about like if I live stream it at home, you know what I mean? The movie, it still doesn't have the same feeling as you would at the movie theaters. You know what I mean?
Because you kind of got out, you dressed up a little bit. Feel. You get the feel. You kind of get out there. And this is something that you hear about music today. The old school people, they love live instruments, right?
Yes.
They like, man, we love when the musicians all went into the movie theaters and they all made music. It had a different vibe to it. Nowadays, to get live instruments is practically unheard of. You know what I mean? So people, the old school people say, man, I like the old school music that had that authentic, you had horns, you had percussions and drums and whatever, versus today, everything is, synthetic. Right. So some people feel like, hey, I don't get that feel or vibe, but will the new age even care about that vibe? You know, would they even care about what my son, would he rather go to an arcade and interact with people and play video games, or would he rather sit in his room on a Nintendo Switch?
Yep.
Because the old school,
you're 100% right on that.
The old school era saying, man, I remember we used to meet up with our friends. We go to the arcade. Yeah. And we all had fun or whatever. But the new generation may not value that. They may say, man, you know what? I can get online, talk to my buddies online, and play Fortnite. You know, why would I want to go to a movie? Why want to go to an arcade? So sometimes some people don't care about that feel.
I believe you. You're right, but I think it all boils down to how they're brought up. You know what I mean?
So it's pretty much, you feel like it's a bet. It's a psychological thing against hedge funds. You feel like it's more of a bet.
Yep, more or less.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you calling in all the way out there from Japan. You out there in Yoko?
Yep, Yokosuka, yep.
Hey, man, go out there and get some of that brown dough ramen.
Good talking to you again, man.
Okay, cool. You be easy, all right?
All right, brother.
All right, later. All right there, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all give me 1 second. Let me get my music back on. Wrong button there. I hit the... Give me 1 second. I don't want to hear that right now. All right, so now we're going to go back to where we at on my soundboard. All right. He said, nice jam. All right, let me see what y'all say in the comments. Y'all know the number if you want to call in and talk live and share your piece on this. We got 657-390-7056. We're live tonight. Late night show. Most random show. The investor show. All right. Now, here we go. Let me go back to what y'all were saying in these comments here. All right. Michael. All right. Let me see. Let me catch up. Y'all give me a second. Okay. Finding my spot here. Y'all checking my little jams here a little bit. Okay, so Max B keeps talking about the streaming. Jones says 5-year charts was a peak at $35 in 2016. Angelo, he said, look at short data for the times and cross-reference with earnings per share. Okay. I'm going to look at some short data because everybody's talking about how many people that are on the short side that they want to create this short squeeze. Also, remember, there weren't great movie release. Oh, they did speak about that. AMC theaters did speak about that. Let me share with y'all. Let me show what AMC Theater said. 1 second. They spoke about the two errors that they had. They were saying that vaccinations was coming, and movie theaters, new movies will be released. Here are AMC Theaters right here. So y'all won't be able to say what I'm saying. This is what they're. Here we go. Here we go here. Giving the right here, the CEO says, with our increased liquidity and increasingly vaccinated population and the intimate release of blockbuster new movie titles, it's time for AMC to go on the offense again. Y'all heard that? Right here from the CEO, right off of AMC's website that came out, I think 2 days ago, with increased liquidity being all this money that they've raised. Everybody that went out and brought these stocks, these billions of dollars they don't raise, at least $1 billion, and increased vaccinated population. and their imminent release of blockbuster new movie titles, it's time for AMC to go back on the offense. The question, ladies and gentlemen, when you see that from the CEO, do you believe in AMC? Some people it's psychological. We had one caller came in, Baptiste said, hey, look, I'm going to shoot this off, right? That's what he's telling me. He said, Prince, this is something personal for me. I'm tired of hedge funds. Somebody else says, Prince, I believe in the fundamentals of AMC, right? Somebody else tells me, Prince, I look at the value of the company, look at the fundamentals of the company, right? I think this is going to become a thing. So that's what they did say. That came from the horse's mouth, the CEO. More people in the stock market now versus then. That's true. There is more liquidity in stocks today than they were then. But young Trill, look at it this way. Last year, when you had airlines get hit, restaurants get hit, you can see what the airlines were doing before the pandemic versus now. You can see what the restaurants were doing before the pandemic versus now. Movie theaters were on a downward trend at that time. We're talking fundamentals right now. I'm gonna do another episode on this whole short squeeze and short data. I'm gonna look up the short data and do my research. But that's how we look. Angelo puts 100%. Streaming has started to run the course to boredom. Ooh, that's true. It is making the world a little bit more boredom. It was up 35% last Friday on my paper trade account, by the way. Okay. Ape stock ETF. What's the ape stock ETF? Are you speaking of like memes? I know I'm pretty late getting back to these comments, but we're going through the comments. Okay, you're an ape of both. Okay. Mudrick. I'm sorry. Why was I missing that up? Mudrick Capital. Mudrick Capital, y'all. I'm sorry about saying that. Oh, RJBT said, so what about the naked short and the synthetic shares? That's what he called in. I got what you're saying now, RJ, about the synthetic shares and the naked shorts. Got what you're saying. No one has confirmed or denied the information, but it is speculated that GME and AMC are manipulated in unison to keep JME from a MOAS. I'm gonna look into that. It's only speculated. I do believe it's true though. Okay. The naked short and stuff will show their face soon enough the higher we build. Ooh, that's very true. The short person is betting against it. You had a lot of people that betted against it. Now you got all the retail investors, which is 3 million right now, that's betting for it. When you have people that's betted against something and people that are shooting for something, that's going to squeeze the short people out. What happens with a short is someone borrows stocks and they sell them to the market. So for prime example, I borrow stocks for $12. I borrow stocks, sold them for $12. I collect the $12. Now let's say if stocks just run up to $100. I have to go buy those stocks for $100 to pay back the broker I borrowed them from. So the higher the stock runs up, the shorter I'm going to be squeezed because I was the short person. So that can make sense to people. Also, make sure you watch the interviews. Okay, we're going to take a look at this. He said, I can get popcorn from Dollar Tree, though. So everybody talking about this, the AMC CEOs giving out popcorn. Culture and Conversation says, keep spitting those facts, cuz I love it, man. I appreciate it. B Tree said, that's it. Okay, what's up, Max B? So said we all gather on Twitter daily on another YouTube channel, just keeping in mind that there are big reasons to go long on AMC. We apes. Okay, I can see the apes. I can see what y'all saying. The apes ETF. Apes believe in unity, and we push people to learn to question our economy. I can see that. Angelo and Argel, y'all got. Okay, let's look at that. We're gonna look at that. He said, honestly, the stock is based off fundamentals and the company is personally growing into it. Those fundamentals not looking too good, Angelo. So you had it right. It's called Rico Prince. It's a license plate recognition company. Oh, license plate recognition company. Got into it at 70 cents and it jumped to $23. They missed out on a big contract in Texas and in Florida, so it drops. Oh, nice. So let's see here. Who said this? Angelo, feel free to call in. You got a lot to say in the comments. He said also the numbers of liabilities are incorrect. It's incorrect. Watch Aaron's interviews, but why do I need to watch the interview when I'm watching what he put out? His liabilities, this is an SEC report he put out in May. Right? You see here. Options. So let's look at it. Angelo say May is no longer relevant. I'll call in. That's true. Feel free to call in. 657-390-3970656. I want to hear what you got to say. Yeah, May is not relevant, but it's the last known information that I have. Right? Until I have new data, I have to go out to the last thing they put out. Every quarter, companies put out quarterly reports, annual reports. I have to go off of what's last, you know? Chewy13 says, can retail investors move the market like this on AMC? Or maybe there are institutional traders at play that we don't know. Think about it. They said there are 3 million retail investors. 3 million. You do 3 million times 10. You got 30 million people moving the market at one time. $30 million. That's enough to move a market. So, yes. And I do believe there are some institutions in play as well. Maybe not, because they don't have to disclose unless they're owning more than 10% of the company and they're over 100 million. You don't find out until they put out their 13F. Hold on one second. We got one call coming in. What's up? You on the Investor Show? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, how's it going? This is Angelo. I'm in Florida.
Angelo, what's going on, Angelo? Y'all give a shout out to Angelo calling in. He was in the comments. Give a shout out to Angelo.
How's it going?
What's going on, Angelo? Angelo, I got a question for you. You had a lot of good stuff to say there in the comments. You were speaking about. Let's go ahead. Let's hear. Let's tell me what you were saying in the comments and break that down for us.
All right. So one, we have, I think it's $9 billion in debt on AMC right now, and it's not due until 2026.
Okay, so it's long-term debt is what you're saying.
Yes, that's what Adam Aaron just said in a live interview with Trace Trade.
Okay. I do agree with
you.
Okay,
He has about $2.5 billion in liquidity right now, and he's acquiring other movie theaters.
Mm-hmm. Now, you are an investor in AMC. Why are you an investor besides to make money? Is it more of a technical analysis thing? Is it a fundamental thing, or is it a psychological thing?
So it's all of the above, really. So when I first started investing, which I started investing a long time ago, but I kind of stopped because I wasn't really sure. Well, then I took a full dive into it back in February, and I started learning, technical analysis. I started learning options, anything I could learn. And I had basically a lot of good features. I mean, more or less, when we get on Twitter space calls, we all teach each other and help grow each other, and that's how the ape community is being. And we're just random investors who all came together, and I mean, we like the stock. It performs well. It's literally just about the stock itself, the fundamentals of the stock, not the fundamentals of the company. But the company is growing to meet the fundamentals of the stock.
Now, what do you have to say? What do you have to say to the fact that how do you feel about the whole entire industry? They have 950 theaters with the new way of streaming. What do you think? What do you think about that? You think they're in a bad position? What do you think?
Well, as a person who has Netflix, Disney Plus, Crunchyroll, Hulu, Amazon Prime, I mean, I watch that shit thousands and thousands of hours. Yeah, but at the same time, nothing can beat the movie theater experience. And really, when it comes down to sitting home watching TV and stuff like that, it's just a way to kill time because we have no idea what to do with our time these days. And that's the problem with our economy right now. We don't have a way for people to go out and enjoy life as opposed to, sit at home where they're trying to trap us in our homes more often over everything. And it's just like we're rats in a cage. And really, movie theaters is an escape from that.
Okay. Now, on the fundamental side of the house, we're speaking about the liabilities, which I agree. Some of the liabilities that I was stating were coming off of their 10Q. Some of them are long-term and short-term. Short-term debt for everybody that's out there, that's any debt that's due within 12 months. Long-term debt is any debt that's due within over 12 months, over a year. Now, looking at it fundamentally, what do you like about AMC fundamentally?
Fundamentally, AMC is 100 years old.
True.
Look, to start with that, the fact that they're worldwide, and the fact that, we heard that, I mean, literally, it's more or less, we heard that the movie theaters were dying. And we also got into investing around the same time. Also, you got to remember when AMC was at 35, that's about the time streaming started really hitting a good peak. So, I mean, honestly, I think they're going to come roaring back with a vengeance, especially if speculation that GME might actually do something with AMC in the future. It's speculated amongst investors, which means, there's a lot of investors who might be passing the word around and might actually try to push for something like that to happen.
Okay. Now, I got this. Now you spoke about your blog, right? What is your blog? So people can hear where you're from. I like your perspective.
I actually don't blog. But what I do is, so I was talking about the fact that everybody refers to them as meme stocks these days. Well, honestly, on Twitter and amongst everybody who are, part of the community, we're more like liking the names of ape stocks. And, when it really comes down to the whole situation, we're on Twitter, which is just, a program that, let's be honest, it's something that some people hate, some people don't. And if you actually get on Twitter, you find out that when you're randomly scrolling through all these comments of information, if you follow certain people, you actually get a better feel of how that person goes throughout the day. And you actually get to know these people. And then people actually reach out to each other. And it's weird the way all of us investors actually came together. And that's why Adam and Aaron had the idea of Investor Connect.
That's true. That's true.
But it the fundamentals of all of this, like I jumped on before I heard about GME because I don't watch the news. The news is fake. We all think the news is fake. We all believe that it's all manipulated and it's all to cause people to go crazy.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Well, hold on. How did you find the Investor Show?
I just stumbled upon it. You were actually suggested on YouTube, so I figured, if I can reach out and help people understand how we apes feel about the stock, how we feel about the company, how we feel about the investor community, the fact that we're retail versus the giant.
Okay. Where you have a YouTube channel?
I don't actually stream anymore.
Okay.
But there are a lot of streamers based around the stock. There are some who spread FUD. There are some who spread technical. There are some who just spread hype. And it's awesome. But at the same time, it's a gift and a curse because people will judge information based on what they hear, and they will choose what they want to hear.
Okay.
And that's the problem. That's the problem with the news lately, like CNBC, Rich Greenfield, all of that. Everything, like Rich Greenfield put a penny target on it. We literally painted a target on his back as the ape because we're like, seriously? Why are you going to bet a penny on a company that we're going long on? So we fought that. And they did that with GameStop. They did that with AMC. If you really look back, GameStop, when it ran up to $480, wasn't really a squeeze. It's not a squeeze until the shorts cover their position. And we haven't even received that on AMC. They take shorts every day. So, you guys think we're going to go down. You can bet against AMC, but I can pretty much see it myself that we're going to go up. And so does the whole community.
Now, how do you feel? Well, you know what? Are you on Instagram?
No, that's another one I didn't like. I actually just started using Twitter more 2 weeks ago. So like Instagram's kind of one of those things where I'm trying to figure it out eventually because I have a business and eventually I want to move forward on that. But it's kind of one of those things where I make money anyway.
What type of business you got?
I am actually a field technician for basically IT smart hands, but we do basically we'll do anything. Digital signage, hanging TVs on the wall, whatever, running security cameras, setting up networks, point of sale systems.
Okay. Well, cool. Definitely, man. How old are you? Tell us about yourself. You married? You got kids, if you don't mind.
I'm 31. I'm married to a wonderful 26-year-old wife, and I have a 4-year-old son.
Nice, man. That's awesome. Definitely. Congratulations to you, man. Your 4-year-old son. I like that.
But I tell you, they grow up tough these days.
You said what now? They what now?
I said, I tell you, these kids grow up tough these days.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I got a 10-year-old myself. But yeah, definitely. I liked your perspective. I saw your stuff in the comments, and yeah, definitely. I want you to call in and share your perspective. I like different perspectives, and I like that. One thing I will say now, how do you feel about going up against a regulated market like the SEC?
So the way we look at the FTC is kind of right now as far as ape stocks per se, GameStop, Cost, BlackBerry, pretty much anything that falls in the terms of we got a lot of short interest and a lot of investors who want to see the stock go up, but it's not going up. Pretty much the shorters just steal money from investors. And you have to take up the whole float to get them off the stock. It's crazy.
So
and then,
so it's like a tug of war pretty much.
Yes. And of course, they have billions and billions and billions of dollars. As you can see, they've bled like 10 billion in the past 2 weeks, or was it 2 billion in the last 2 weeks? I don't know. But they have billions of dollars, and they fight us. I mean, you can watch it. You can look at the price action and the sale book. There's 700 million shares traded in a day.
Yeah, I saw that
on one day. And that one day specifically is high frequency traders. You got to understand, Adam Aaron announced today that 5.18 billion or 5.18 million shares of the outstanding shares, which is like 5.2 something right now, 5.2 something million, are held entirety, like as long position. So high frequency traders are, for the couple of people that ducked out of the stock, especially the newer investors who jumped in when we were at 65. But, it's more or less the fact that they don't understand the reasoning behind why we stay on the stock, why we don't sell. Well, the fundamentals is we're trying to get the shorts to stop shorting the stock.
Hello, Angelo. I got a question for you. Somebody, Brock N. I think Brock N. is out of Canada. He said, "Did you get your free popcorn?"
I have actually not found the website yet.
I should have put the link up because he put it. He definitely put it out in the press release. The Investor Connect. So
I will definitely check out the investor website. I got to get to it. I was trying to find it. I'm a little upset it's not an application.
Yeah.
But you'll grow with the time.
Oh yeah.
He's learned. Adam Aaron is on Twitter, reading everybody's comments and actually trying to learn from the investor base who is converting to a customer base as opposed to just investors. So you got to keep in mind, we went long on the stock, meaning, if we like the stock, we should like the movie theater, and that's where we go.
Got it. Okay.
So, fundamentals, numbers and number crunching aside, it's just honest community.
Okay.
Beats betting against the company, I think.
Got it. Okay. We definitely going to do
That's
that.
That's why GameStop roared through the ceiling. I mean, literally, you had thousands of gamers like, you can't get rid of the last place that we can buy used games.
Oh, that's kind. You know what? I think that is due to we live in a different time. People have accessibility, right? I've been doing this now for a couple of years or whatever. So if it wasn't for technology, you and I wouldn't be here today, right?
Absolutely.
You wouldn't. I wouldn't.
Technology is a gift and a curse.
Oh yeah, it has placed it in a world where people that are crazy enough like us who care about investing in finance can find each other and can connect. So we have the accessibility, and then now we can buy stocks through our phone. We can make investments through our phone. We can Google anything or anybody. That is what has changed the globe, in my personal opinion, of why you have what you call it, why you have these type of investors going on. This type of community that exists now. But Angelo, definitely appreciate you for definitely, stay in contact. Definitely like your perspective. I definitely want to follow this, of course. Definitely if there's any way I could support or follow you, anything, definitely let me know. And definitely appreciate you calling in. What's up?
If you get on Twitter, you can follow me at A Gabrielini. And
what is it again?
Plenty of people to follow. It's the first letter of my first name and then my last name, A Gabrielini. So,
okay, let me shop. First letter, your last. It's your first letter, your first name, and then your last name. B-R. I'm trying to do it right now while I'm live because I've been walked out of here and forgot. B-R. I don't really tweet like that. I'm really not really on Twitter, but hey, we can. I'm always looking to.
Just remember, if you ever want a little extra perspective, if you see a little purple bubble at the top across Twitter, jump in the space call. There are a lot of people who would love to speak about the stock. So, it would be a very interesting perspective to actually hop into the community and understand how the community is, as opposed to, there are a lot of bots.
Oh, that's you that says Angelo AMC's up?
Yep.
That's you?
Yep.
Got it. Okay, I just found you.
Look, I'm 400% on AMC and GME right now.
Ooh, congrats. Shout out to that 400%.
I'm not selling yet.
Congratulations. Yeah, I got you right there on Twitter. I got you. Definitely.
All right. Well, it was great talking to you. I hope you guys have a great night. I'm going to go to bed. And, I'm happy that I got to speak to people who didn't really understand the perspective of the apes too much.
Okay. Glad. That's why I brought you on. That's why I want you to call in, and I want to get, what I do with my platform here is I like to bring in different perspectives, whether I agree with them or disagree with them, because I think that people can learn, and I learn from a lot of different people. So I think it's a great thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you got to understand there were people who that look at all this stuff. And this is the last thing I wanted to say. Sorry.
Okay.
People that look at all this stuff and they see that we constantly get shut down, and they see that the news and the media constantly spreads fear, uncertainty, and doubt. I mean, they literally have every single investor show that comes on, except for when they take, one of our famous YouTubers on the show at Fox Business.
Hold on, that was with Charles Payne, right?
Smash everything.
Well, that was with Charles Payne.
Yes, I believe so. You have Trace Trades and Matt Kors both interviewed with him.
Yeah, I did see that with Charles Payne. I did watch that interview. Pretty big fan of Charles Payne too. You know what? Actually, funny story about Charles Payne. He I think that was last year. He reached out to me and sent me a letter I did a review of his latest book or whatever. He sent me a letter about something. So shouts out to Charles Payne, money making Charles Payne over there on Fox Business. So that's pretty cool.
Absolutely. It's been a crazy ride. Everything's been smashed in the media and smashed online. And, you have to really talk to the apes to actually get the real story. Okay.
All right. I hear you. Ape game over there. Okay. All right. Definitely appreciate it. Definitely follow you on Twitter. Definitely stay in contact, and definitely thank you for bringing in the apes philosophy. And I might be reaching out to you on some other things to see how you feel about these different short squeezes and all the good stuff too. All right.
Hey, we can talk.
All right. Definitely.
Have a great night.
You too. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we definitely appreciate that for happening today. Shots out to Angelo for calling in over there. That's a different perspective. I'm going to look at doing a show on the squeezers over the retail investors versus the institutional investors. So, all right. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a long show. Shout out to Brock N. Thank you for tuning in, Brock N. Glad to see you on here. He says, "What's good, Prince?" Thank you for tuning in. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, and Miss Joyce, I can't get out here without saying hey to Miss Joyce. How you doing, Miss Joyce? She says, "Hey, Prince." But definitely, I appreciate it. Thank you, guys and girls, for tuning in. That's a new philosophy, a philosophy behind getting at the ape side of the house. That's pretty cool. But definitely, ladies and gentlemen, definitely thank y'all for tuning in, and thank you guys and girls for tuning in. But I got to get out of here. I got to get running. Appreciate it. Got some phone calls to make. Until the next video, podcast, cartoon, or whatever else crazy y'all see me doing around the globe. My name is Prince Dykes. Peace. Be safe. I'm out. Thank you.